it's a very good tip, actually, for younger journalists to have that sort of one burning question, as we would say. How do you assess media freedom in Albania? You know, it's been a long road. It's not easy, you know, especially if you're doing investigative journalism, because reading the news, having a podcast, it's different to doing investigative journalism, which is more criminal related, and you are upsetting people all the time. How do you assess?
It's very polarized, you know, the situation of media in Albania, but has good journalists, has journalists with integrity. And their voice is very important, and people following them, because people are not stupid. Some politicians or people with power thinks that people don't understand. We can lie them with beautiful things that we're saying about a future that it doesn't. We don't arrive from decades, but no. People understand very well, each of us. So I think that has good journalists here, and I'm optimistic about for that.
I see things getting better in terms of, you know, how it's easier for journalists to work, maybe opportunities. It's not quite as dark as it was some years ago. Of course, there are still a lot of problems, but...
Shiko, ka vetëm një problem, Alice. Ka një problem në qoftë se ka gazetar që blihen. Në qoftë se ka gazetar që hyn në panele me agenda për të mbrojtur të pambrojtshmen, sepse çdo gazetar ka drejtën të jetë palë. Pra dikush mbështet Partinë Demokratike, dikush Partinë Socialiste, dikush një personazh, kjo është e drejta jonë. Në momentin që një gazetar merr lek, apo ka një trafik influence mbrapa, apo ka një benefit sepse mbron diçka që është edhe e pambrojtshme, ky është problemi që na infekton të gjithëve dhe ky është problemi i medias.
I see this, you know, people will complain about something, but they don't want the solution either. They don't want to find a solution, and you think, well, what is your agenda? Why are you just talking about the bad, but you don't want to fix it, you know? And this is why I stepped away from media freedom sort of for a while, because I wasn't convinced that everyone had the same...
Kuptohen, edhe këta kuptohen. Edhe këta kuptohen. Njerëzit nuk i njohin personalisht, po tulesh me njerëzit e din shumë mirë. Ky mbron këtë, edhe kjo mbron këtë, apo më kupton, duhet thënë ne jemi shumë të lehtësueshëm. Patjetër se cili ka përfitimet e tij, por ne jemi shumë të lehtësueshëm dhe këta janë problemi i medias në fakt.
So I want to ask you as well, I'll start with the story. I was at the University of Tirana speaking to journalism students, first year, and I was teaching them a bit about writing in English for international media, how the structures are different and maybe some of the ethical approaches are different. And this boy, journalism student, put up his hand and he said, why do we need to know how to write an article? Nobody reads anymore. We want to know how to make reels. And I died slightly inside. I sort of tried to explain, you need to know how to write before you can create anything else, you know? But I wondered, what experience would you give to this younger generation of journalists who are embarking on this new world of journalism?
They have to do the fact-checking all the time. And if you're going to have or to do reels, that is the trend of the moment, reels and shorts, etc., I'm okay with that. But you have to cross the facts.
Yes.
And not only with one source, never. At least two sources.
Yes.
You have to find two different sources to cross the facts, to create your opinion, to know the background of the story. And after that, you can go to do a reels about 30 seconds. Because in 30 seconds, you have to say everything, you know? I'm talking about journalism here, not about influencer. If they want to be influencer, it's a different conversation then.
Yes.
But for journalists, of course, fact-checking, the
I
first
think
one.
that line has become blurred a bit. You know, you have people who are talking about news, or journalists that are trying to do like influencers, or influencers trying to do like journalists, and the audience are not sure, you know, and people, to make a reel takes 30 seconds. You can hear a piece of news, you just da 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 da,
Yes.
and it's not going through the same process of fact checking, and people believe it in the same way.
Yes, people believe that, but after 2 or 3 or 6 months, people doesn't know you anymore, because if you just talk, you have to go like swipe,
Yeah.
But if you tell them something, not just talk to them, just tell them something, of course that they're going to follow you.